Hello, my name is Diane Elliott. I'm a teacher of Ikebana, or Japanese floral art, with the Sogetsu School in the Seattle area. Ikebana traces its origins to the ancient Shinto and Buddhist traditions of floral offerings. The first Ikebana school was formally organized in the 15th century. Many people wonder what is the difference between Ikebana and Western floral arrangement. And perhaps one of the most obvious differences is the emphasis in many Ikebana arrangements on line and the space created by lines, whereas in many Western arrangements, color and mass are the most important elements. In most Ikebana schools, both traditional and modern, first learn basic arrangements, and that is true even in the Sogetsu school, which is a modern school founded in 1927 by Sofu Teshigahara. Our school has 5 textbooks, 2 with mostly basic arrangements and 3 with freestyle arrangements. Today, I am going to be demonstrating a freestyle arrangement using spring branch materials from my yard. I am using a container that I created, kind of a funky looking container with 5 mouths that I created by wrapping clay around tubes from aluminum foil containers. And took 2 tries before I got one that didn't break. The first branch that I am going to be using is Seka willow. It's also called petrified willow, Japanese fantail willow. It has these odd flattened branches, although not all the branches on the bushes are flattened like this. Maybe a third to a half of them are. And you can see that this one has some curlicues on the end of the branches. It's Salix udensis. Seka is the species name. The arrangement I'm doing is called nageeri, which means thrown in or tossed in arrangement. But you can spend hours in tossing in these materials in these arrangements. In Ikebana, most of the schools, we do not use the floral foam. We use sticks and, of course, for the flat dish arrangements, we use the pin holders, also known as kenzans, floral frogs in American speak. So I want to put this particular branch in a specific area of this. If I just stuck it in, it would go down to the bottom. So I have cut a fork in the branch, and I've also cut a fork stick. And in that way, it holds the branch very stably in where I want it. And here's my second branch of this same willow. And I'm placing it onto the first branch to hold it steady. And then I've got a third branch. Again, you can see it's got flattened curlicues on it. And I'm placing that on the second one. The second material I'm going to be using is flowering plum. This is a volunteer in the yard, but it was pretty, so we left it. And it wasn't bothering anything. So I'm kind of following some of the lines that are on the fantail willow, the curving lines, emphasizing those with these branches of the flowering plum. This particular plum has bronze leaves that come out, and the buds on it are pink, and then the flowers are white. I have done most of the trimming on these branches beforehand because trimming can take literally hours before you get to throw in your materials in your thrown in arrangements. This material creates kind of an airy feeling. When I'm cutting materials, I'm cutting them underwater because it lengthens the life of the materials. When you cut them in air, when you release the scissors, the materials can suck up an air bubble, but if you cut them underwater, they will suck up a water bubble, and it helps them to retain water. Now I am adding the first of two kinds of camellias to this. This is a camellia it's a hybrid of japonica, Camellia japonica, and Camellia saluensis. And they're called Williamsii hybrids. And this one is one called J.C. Williams. It has these single pink flowers. This particular kind of camellia, often the flowers will drop before they go bad. So to keep them from dropping, you can stick a pin between the leaf right next to the flower and into the flower to keep it from dropping. I've done that to most of the camellias that I have in this arrangement, so I just show you the example. And adding materials to the back as well as the front to add depth to the arrangement. In traditional Japanese homes, they had a tokonoma or alcove where they kept scrolls and things, and often had an Ikebana arrangement in there, so that the back of the arrangement wasn't very important. But modern homes usually do not have that, so that we place some emphasis on the back of arrangements as well as the front. And in our school, this is not true with all schools, but in the Sogetsu school, we learn how to arrange from the back so that the audience sees the front of the arrangement. While it's being created. It takes a bit of doing to learn how to do that, but it's nice for the audience to be able to see what's being done as it's being done. That my second camellia that I'm using is also a Williamsii hybrid, and this is one called Freedom Bell with red flowers. So I'm going to add those in the front. I have a number of them. There are too many to put on the table to begin with. And I am creating a little bit of a mass area in the front of this arrangement. Okay, since I cannot see the front of this arrangement, I'm going to turn it so I can look to see what I need to fix to make it look better from the front while I'm arranging from the back. Some of the petals are starting to fall. So this is a spring arrangement, early spring arrangement with Seka or Japanese fantail willow, flowering plum, and Camellia J.C. Williams and Camellia Freedom Bell. So I hope I'll turn it so you can see the different sides, and I hope that you can feel some of the joy of spring with this arrangement. I thank you for watching.